Hi, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about the Sittaris project. So where does the name Sittaris come from? Okay, Sittaris is the sun disk of Hittites. Hittites are an ancient civilization from Anatolia, okay? So we're talking about the sun, we're talking about solar energy, and naturally talking about Bitcoin mined from green energy, solar energy. Hence the expression, pure Bitcoin energy. My name is Kerem Senel, okay? I'm one of the co-founders of the Sittaris project. Well, I'm an electrical and electronics engineer, but I went to business school right after graduation. And then I became an investment banker. Eventually, I went into academics and I became a professor of finance. My research primarily focuses on asset allocation in pension funds, and more particularly, utilization of artificial intelligence in asset allocation. Recently, I've been working on cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in particular. Okay. So, we've got two other co-founders, and as the founding team, we are specialized in project development and financing of renewable energy projects. Up to date, we have developed dozens of solar parks throughout Europe and in Netherlands particularly. So right now, we have developed we have more than 1 gigawatt peak power in development in terms of solar power. And we are the winner of the SDE++ 2022 in the Netherlands. Now, what is SDE++? It's the subsidy provided by the government to large-scale renewable projects. So in 2022 alone, we have secured more than 160 megawatt peak solar power. That's how we have been awarded. So that's the team. So we are very experienced in solar power generation. So, what is the problem? And what is our solution? Well, the world perceives proof of work in general and Bitcoin mining in particular, okay, as a process that consumes too much energy. And this energy is mainly in the form of coming from fossil fuels or nuclear energy. Well, nuclear energy is deemed to be zero carbon emission and much better than coal-fired power plants and other stuff. But of course, it's not zero waste. There is radioactive residue. So when we talk about Bitcoin mining, it's perceived as a mostly carbon-emitting, wasteful, and polluting technology. And it's got some very negative environmental sentiment attached to it. So how do you propose to solve this problem? Well, we think that Bitcoin mining can be zero emission, zero carbon footprint. It's evident. We are using solar energy, so that's naturally zero emission, okay? But we are not just a zero emission green miner. We are also zero waste. Now, what do we mean by that? This is the most important factor that differentiates us from other green Bitcoin miners. And this is what makes us unique. What do we mean by zero waste? As you know, the proof of work generates lots of heat because it's a computationally intensive process, and that heat is generally wasted. There is not much use for it, okay? And also, we are using more energy to cool down our miners, all right? So that to make them work more efficiently. So we're using lots of energy and we're wasting it. Now, we are proposing to recycle that heat. How are we going to do that, or how are we doing it? Okay? We are transferring the heat from the Bitcoin miners, okay, via plate heat exchangers, to some closed-loop water system, okay, in our greenhouses. So we're using that heat to heat the greenhouse and to feed that heated water to community heat grids. So we're not wasting anything. Hence the expression zero waste, okay? That's where it comes from. And there is a third plus to Bitcoin mining, okay, with green energy, especially in Europe. okay? We've got lots of solar power in summer, okay, during daytime. That's why you see prices plunging, sometimes into negative territory. And that's a huge problem. So when we increase the number of Bitcoin miners throughout Europe, okay, it's going to have a balancing impact on the power grid, okay? There is going to be some important place where this energy can be channeled to. So these are the three most important points, okay, of the Sittaris solution. But it's not limited to that. We think the way we mine Bitcoins can also be a good network balancer. Why is that the case? Because we know there are very few Bitcoin miners in Europe, okay? Most of them are situated in other parts of the world. So when we increase the number of Bitcoin miners here, okay, the Bitcoin mining capacity is going to be geographically more dispersed, okay? So a more balanced Bitcoin network. And another thing, again, what differentiates us from our competitors, yeah, we are mining green Bitcoins, but we are not a green miner, okay, that uses or that purchases electricity. We are basically a power generator, a solar power company that also mines Bitcoins, which means we have much more control over our costs, okay? And our marginal cost of electricity is very, very low. What does this mean? Even if the price of electricity goes up tremendously, we may continue to mine Bitcoins, okay? That's a strategic decision. I mean, you can give that energy to the power grid, or you can continue to mine Bitcoins. So, this is the Sittaris solution. Now, what is our current status? What's the current status of the project? We have selected our solar parks. The mining infrastructure is currently in progress. We have completed our feasibility and valuation studies, and that feasibility study is also very important in the selection of specific mining hardware, and the valuation studies are for prospective investors. We expect to go live in the first quarter of 2024, and of course, we want this project to scale up. All right? So more locations are going to follow. So what's next for Sittaris? We right now build the Genesis pool. But I need to emphasize that we actually don't need the Genesis pool for financing the current infrastructure. It's already been financed. So what is it going to be used for? It's going to be used to seed the new solar parks, okay? But of course, most of the new financing is not going to be via the Genesis pool. They are going to be financed by tokenized bonds. So we also expect to be a prominent player in the tokenized bond space as well. Of course, we generate Bitcoins. Therefore, we're going to hold the Bitcoins in our treasury, okay? Treasury will be held in Bitcoins, but that's not the only reason. We believe in the Bitcoin. And also, we are going to provide Bitcoin rewards to our community members and stakeholders. Okay, so we invite you all to join our community and our Genesis pool. That was my presentation. What questions do you have? Yes, please. I can't hear you, sorry. Where are the solar parks? The solar parks are in Netherlands. The solar parks are in Netherlands, but today we have talked to many projects and many people, okay? So they are very interested in our solution. And this solution can be copied, replicated in other countries, such as in the United States or in Africa, many places. Okay. Do you have any question? Yes, please.
What are the benefits that you get as a community member?
What are the benefits? Well, the benefits are mainly, okay, we are generating Bitcoins, but we are also selling electricity. It's a strategic and financial decision. Sometimes we generate more electricity, sometimes we generate more Bitcoin. But the majority of our financial gain or financial income will be denominated in Bitcoins. So those Bitcoins are eventually going to be reflected, okay, as a reward for our community members and stakeholders. Actually, we're thinking of implementing a smart treasury system, a balancer thing. And in this balancer thing, okay, we're going to have our native tokens, but also a Bitcoin. So that Bitcoin is going to impact the financial benefits of our stakeholders. When the amount of Bitcoin increases in that smart treasury, that's going to be reflected in price of our native token. So the community members will get their benefits through this smart treasury system. And also there are going to be airdrops. We haven't decided on the final setup, but it's going to be reflected as a reward to our stakeholders and community members. Okay, do you have any question? Yes, please. Tokenized bonds. How are we going to structure tokenized bonds? Okay. Well, eventually it could be denominated in Bitcoins, but initially, I guess, we should start with some stable currency denomination. Okay? Because it's going to be much easier. But whenever this gets embedded into the ecosystem, okay, we may try Bitcoin-denominated bonds as well. Because we are generating Bitcoins, our income will be denominated in Bitcoins. Therefore, we can provide Bitcoin returns to our investors, debt investors. That's a very good question, thank you, and that's a very good idea. Yep. How
long does it take to break even with the solar investment?
How long does it take? Well, just for the solar investment or solar investment with Bitcoin mining? Both. Well, it depends, okay? The solar investment, yeah, we are very experienced in solar project development. So our costs are very low. I mean, our procurement costs of infrastructure, capital expenditures. And also, as I said, we are very active in the SDE++. So for instance, for the future, we can sell our electricity at a price close to 80 euros per megawatt hour. All right? So it brings down our payback period to a very small period, okay? So it's very profitable, electricity sales, but we do not expect it to continue like that. I mean, those prices are not here to stay. So electricity prices are going to go down in the near future. That's what we expect, okay? Whenever it goes down, we need to have some optionality regarding to Bitcoin functioning. And in order to, in order to forecast, okay, how much Bitcoins you are going to generate with this process, you have to forecast the network hash rate. It's a very complicated thing, and it's very difficult to say that the payback period is this or the return on investment is this because you don't know what the price of Bitcoin is going to be. So you have to use some very sophisticated valuation techniques such as real options, option pricing methodology, to come up with something. With current prices, Bitcoin mining is not so much profitable. Let me be sincere. But strategically, we need to have that Bitcoin mining equipment in place. And if there is a bull market, it's going to be profitable immensely. But there is no point of knowing when the bull market is going to begin or how much it's going to be profitable. But in terms of, let me say, Bitcoin mining plus electricity, to give you an example, with an investment for $12 million or something like that, we get a net present value of something like $7 million. So it's very profitable, the combined investment. Okay, did I answer your question?
The question was about the payback, when you
It's about 2 years with the current figures. It's about 2 years. The payback period. Payback period. Yes, please. Yeah. No, we don't shut down the miners. If Bitcoin mining is profitable, we continue to mine Bitcoins. There are two ways to solve this problem. Either we can use some batteries, okay? Or, yeah, we have other group companies, for instance. We are a power generator, so we have companies, group companies, that have storage capabilities. So they are also generating green energy, solar energy, and they're storing and selling it. So we can buy green energy via PPAs, power purchase agreements. So we can guarantee that we are producing green Bitcoins 100% with green energy. So that's going to be decided. That also depends on the future price of battery technology and other things, capital expenditures and stuff. But there are two ways. Yes. Any question, guys? All right. Well, this is the QR code to our website link. And you can also reach us at info@sittaris.com. We have a booth of Sittaris outside this room, so you can always come and we can talk further in detail if you like. So, thank you.
Thank you, Miami, for the last 3 years in this amazing city. The whole world shut down, but Miami welcomed us with open arms. We want to show Bitcoin to the whole world. We are taking the conference on the road to set the stage for Bitcoin in a new city. Nashville. Bitcoin 2024 is coming to Nashville in Tennessee, a city that is known as a music and freedom city. Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville from July 25th to 27th.